What is it like to be the only person in an entire city? Wake up in the morning and start with a workout. Cook a hearty meal for yourself and your dog. Open up the arsenal. Grab a handy weapon and head to your partner Sam. Go out hunting and scavenging for supplies. Sometimes visit the library to talk to your family and your thoughts. At noon, head to the pier on South Street. Broadcast on the usual frequency, looking for survivors. The watch beeps. Night is falling. The night here does not belong to him. It belongs to terrifying monsters, the Night Seekers. At home, he sprays disinfectant to mask his scent, closes and fortifies the doors and windows. Another day ends. Why has the world become like this? It all started with a medical expert 3 years ago. He developed a cure for cancer. Extracted the measles virus and genetically modified it for human use. It underwent 10,009 clinical trials, with a 100% success rate and no side effects. This success brought great excitement to humanity. But not long after, those cured of cancer began showing symptoms of anemia. The virus spread through the air, quickly infecting Long Island. To control the spread, the government issued a lockdown of Long Island. Robert, a military virologist, stayed behind to find a cure for the virus. Using his clearance, he prepared to send his wife and child to safety, but the helicopter crashed before his eyes. Time flew by. 3 years have passed. New York has become a desolate and ruined city. Over 90% of humanity vanished from the earth forever. The remaining 9% turned into demons. They are also called seekers. These are bloodthirsty, ultraviolet sensitive monsters, savage and uncontrollable. Only 1% of humans are naturally immune to the virus. Unfortunately, most of them became prey for the Night Seekers. The entire city seems to have only one survivor, Robert, and his companion, Sam. In this apocalyptic world, the only thing keeping Robert going is researching a cure for the virus. Robert uses his immune blood for experiments, observing daily for results. This time, he noticed that mouse number 6 is gradually stabilizing. This discovery prompts Robert to start human trials. One day, Robert was casually playing golf on the tail of a plane wreck, but Sam seemed to sense something unusual. Robert used his scope and saw it was a deer. Robert and Sam quickly gave chase. The cornered deer ran into a dark building. Robert hesitated, but Sam ran inside. Robert had no choice but to follow. Inside, Robert nervously searched for Sam, until he finally found him. Sam seemed to sense something, and backed away in fear. Slowly, Robert turned his head. Robert yelled for Sam to run. They sprinted out of the building. The Night Seeker died immediately in the sunlight. For his human trial, Robert used his blood as bait. He set a trap at the building entrance. He successfully captured a female Night Seeker. A male Night Seeker roared in helpless rage. Back at the lab, Robert injected the female Night Seeker with serum number 6, but the experiment ended in failure. The female Night Seeker remained highly aggressive. On his way home that day, he noticed a mannequin from the library standing on the street. Robert got out of his car to investigate, shocked. In a panic, he started shooting. Once he calmed down, Robert walked over to inspect. Suddenly, he stepped on something strange. When Robert was awakened by an alarm, the sun was nearly setting. He used a knife to cut the rope around his foot, but as he fell, the knife stabbed into his thigh. From the shadows of the building, 3 mutant dogs appeared as dusk fell. Once the sunlight faded, they would charge immediately at him. Robert scrambled to climb onto his car. As the sunlight disappeared, the 3 mutant dogs leapt at him. Sam bravely intercepted the first one. The second dog attacked next. Robert quickly pulled his gun and shot it dead. As he freed Sam, the third dog lunged at him. In the critical moment, Sam saved him, giving Robert the chance to kill the last mutant dog. But tragically, Sam was bitten. Robert carried him back to the lab and tried to cure him with the serum. He held Sam tightly and prayed silently. But in the end, no miracle occurred. As Sam became increasingly aggressive, Robert, with tears in his eyes, reluctantly strangled Sam in his arms. Losing his only companion, Robert completely broke down. He lost all hope to keep living. Determined to perish with the Night Seekers, Robert lured them to the docks. He then started his car and drove straight into the horde. Eventually, his car overturned after repeated collisions. A Night Seeker reached into the car and bared its fangs at him. Suddenly, a bright light shone from behind, scaring off the Night Seeker. As Robert began losing consciousness, he heard a voice asking for his address. When Robert awoke, he was back at home. His wounds had been stitched up. His rescuers were a mother and her son. They had come after hearing his radio broadcast. Robert took Anna to the area where he had set his traps. This was one of his usual setups. He explained to Anna that the Night Seekers had evolved the ability to think, but Robert firmly believed they had no intelligence. He thought they were just mindless monsters. While watching Ethan playing in the water, Robert suddenly realized that physical cooling might enhance the serum's effectiveness. He began pouring water on the captured Night Seeker, hoping it would work. Meanwhile, Anna pleaded with Robert to join her and the others at a survivor settlement. But Robert didn't believe. Any safe zone still existed. As they argued, the screeches of night seekers echoed outside. Through the window, Robert saw a massive horde approaching. It seemed their location had been exposed. Robert turned on the floodlights and detonated explosives he had planted around. He rushed upstairs to find Anna, only to see part of the second floor had collapsed. A night seeker leapt at him, pinning him to the ground. After Robert scared it off with a gun, the night seeker leader summoned a larger horde. Robert quickly took Anna and Ethan into the lab for safety. To his astonishment, he discovered that the female night seeker's condition had miraculously improved. Her breathing became steady. But before he could celebrate, the night seekers broke into the lab. One by one, they began pounding on the protective glass. "Let me save you," Robert said. But they remained unrelenting. Robert extracted the night seeker's blood and handed it to Anna. He told her to escape with Ethan through the tunnel. Anna and the boy reached the human settlement. Using the blood serum, they saved humanity. Alternate ending. The night seeker leader drew a butterfly shape on the glass. Robert suddenly realized the female night seeker bore a similar mark. The leader was only trying to save her. Robert lowered his gun and carefully returned the transformed female night seeker to their leader. He also handed over the serum and watched in disbelief. Robert realized the night seekers had evolved emotions, becoming a new species. To them, it was Robert who was the outcast. Robert apologized to the night seekers. The leader chose to spare his life and left with the others. The next day, Robert and Anna departed the house to search for other survivors. The first ending is purely heroic, a selfless sacrifice that saves all of humanity. The second ending, with the protagonist surviving, feels more hollow and darker in essence. The night seeker leader even saves the female night seeker. Yet, humanity is still not saved. Which ending do you prefer?